Hey y'all, welcome to Melanin University. It's your boy Malcolm. You can find me at just_Malk_. We're here today to bring in some new topics, and I have my other co-host here.
Hey, this is Chelsea. You can reach me at RockinDemJays. That's ROCKIND3MJAYS.
Hi, this is DeKeisha. You can catch me on IG or Twitter at GodivaKeke. GODIVAKEKE.
And this is Cassie. You can find me at _Cassie_.
Okay, well, class is now in session, bitches. So today we want to get into a nice little topic. You know, it is Valentine's Day. And what does Valentine's Day mean to y'all?
Well, I'm single, so Valentine's Day means self-love for me. I want to concentrate on me. Just giving myself more love. And I don't know, just dishing out love to the people that I care about. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic interest. Right, just somebody in my circle. Y'all my circle, so I give love to y'all. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone at the table.
Well, y'all can call me the pessimist of the group because I personally feel like Valentine's Day is a scam. It's a whole scam. It's a whole scam. I feel like you should celebrate love with the people you love every day, and not restricted to just one day where you're forced to buy stuff. So
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
I concur.
It's just another day to me where I have to go buy stuff for my kids to take to their classmates. That's it. It's another day. Like, you should show love all year round. Like, why I gotta go buy candy and cards for some little kids that I don't even know. I don't even know my child even like these kids.
So I'm just waiting for the candy to go on sale tomorrow.
Right. Now when the candy drop and the prices drop, then I know love.
I have self-love and indulgence of chocolate.
Exactly. Well, since we established that, diving into Valentine's Day, how it happens in relationships, with our channel, we want to focus on the Black experience with all of this. And I'm interested to see, how has Black love been for you guys? Like, how have you experienced love within your own relationships or past relationships?
Who wants to be the first one to go? Well, actually, you know what? Let me just start it off because I'm newly single. The Black love experience for myself, of course, is ups and downs. There's always things that you wish that you can change for the better inside of your relationships. I think one thing that we need to do as Black couples, even if your relationship didn't work, it's always good to sit down and analyze it, realize the things that you did wrong, the things that could have been better, and how you're going to make your next relationship, better.
Yeah, because I feel like, just in general, I don't feel as though many people take accountability in relationships. And I feel like that's a big part of learning and growing into something else. You guys?
I feel like a lot of it has to do with respect as well. Like, you have to respect each other, respect boundaries, because people can overstep those and do a lot of, hurtful things. So that's another thing.
So how does everyone handle being hurt? Because I know I have moments where if I'm very hurt, I can react in a disrespectful way because of the hurt that I feel. And I can't really just sit myself down and be like, you don't need to respond to it. Sometimes I feel like I need to go to that extra limit to show somebody.
Actually, diving into that, I find it interesting. Like, do Black women, do you feel the need to kind of change how you approach things just so you won't be labeled as the hood rat, ghetto ass girlfriend who's coming at her boyfriend?
I don't change things. Me personally.
Okay.
I kind of let my reactions be what they are. I'm not saying they're right because I'm kind of like how you are. Sometimes I can control how I react. Sometimes I can't. So I think it all depends on if you're in a good place or a dark place in life. Personally,
I feel like
to how you react.
Whatever is in your headspace, that's how you're going to react. Right. And sometimes I know I feel like I was so hurt and then I wasn't in a headspace where I could actually like sit down and have a conversation. Like, for instance, I'll give you guys an example. So with my last relationship, one of the areas I felt like I could have did differently was that there was a situation, like an argument that we were having. I don't even know why we were arguing. But it was like I got so fed up with not being listened to, and like it's like everything was just, it was like talking to a brick wall. I just got up with a bottle of water and started dumping it across his forehead. I just kept talking my shit and dumping the bottle of water. It was like, oh, what you gonna do now and stuff like that. Of course, at the end, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to. But I feel like as Black women and men, we need to do what we say we're gonna do and mean what we're gonna say by it. I know that we can say things out of anger, but that's when you need to really think about what's coming out of your mouth so you don't say things or hurtful things or do hurtful things to people, because sometimes people can't come back from that.
Yeah, I really agree, because once you say something, you can't take it back. Mm-hmm. So with like wrapping this up in Black love, do you feel that us as Black people, we have examples in our lives of how love should work?
Of course.
I believe we do, but I think in general as Black people, it's still a learning and growing experience. We're still, especially as like Black African Americans, as they call us here, mm-hmm. because our history is just different. I mean, I won't say all the way different, but it's different.
It's definitely different.
And I think we're getting there, we're recovering, but it's taking a lot of work for us to dismiss what we normally know as tradition versus where we're headed at now.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, they, especially African Americans, they refer to how our families historically were always broken up.
Right.
And with that, I tend to see that a lot in Black relationships, single mothers, single fathers. Mm-hmm. There's not really that, what people call a quote unquote family structure. Mm-hmm. So I always wonder, does that take a toll, or does that affect how we view relationships?
Of course.
I think so. Because we get so used to, we can do it on our own. I love myself that I can do this and I can do that. And then sometimes you got to replace that I with the we to help get the bigger picture to come together. But what's it? Work in progress.
I mean, when you've been the one in control for so long, it's kind of hard to like, hey, here's somebody who's willing to be my partner, to kind of relinquish, that control. Because it's always you. It's always been you.
Right.
So, and it's also hard to, I feel like, it's hard for, I feel like it's for Black women and Black men, but it's really hard for us, it's really hard for women to say me too. I don't know if anybody else agrees with this, but I feel like everybody has a motive. I need to know that your motive is in the same track that I'm going with. Like everyone, there's so many men out here that are looking just to lay up and just sit there and just take everything that you can and then just leave you just dried up, shriveled, without any type of energy, and you done spent stuff into it. And it's the same thing with women too. Because there's women out there that have been trained to be like, oh, okay, I need a man to do this. I need a man to do this with me. And I'm one of the women that, my dad raised me to be independent. So it's hard for me to submit to a man when I know I can do it myself. And if it's not going to be done to the way I like it, then I kind of throw my hands up, which I'm trying to work on, because I need to find a healthy way to just sit there and let someone in to basically do the teamwork thing. So it's not just I. Because it's always women out here, I feel, especially on Valentine's Day. I can do it by myself. I don't need no man.
I don't need bad all by myself.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Yeah, you can do it by yourself, but it's like being in a relationship, it's like you guys are coming together and building, working towards what you guys want, which is family. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of single mothers out here doing it by themselves. And they're not saying that you guys cannot do it. You guys can, because you guys, do it all the time. You show people all the time that you guys can do it. But it's just, sometimes, I want to know, do you come to a point where you like, okay, well, enough is enough. I want to be with someone too. Or is it kind of like, I'm scared, let me just back up and just be by myself?
Yeah, because I think it's, and some of it is all mind frame and how you think about it. Because, working with someone in a partnership, I don't necessarily consider that submitting to someone. I consider that, both parties working together, compromising. Like, I consider it that, but a lot of people do consider that submitting. And I just think it's just how you approach the situation and think about it.
See, I think submissive is when you know that both of y'all are good at doing something, but one person may not want to do it, and the other person's kind of like, I don't want to either, but I'll submit in this case, and I'll do it. Because, in relationships, clearly with each partner, there's going to be strengths and weaknesses between each. I prefer to, wherever I'm weak at, my partner picks up where I'm weak at. Yes. Wherever they weak at, I pick up where they're, weak at. But then, you'll have those common things in common that y'all are just both extraordinarily good at, probably even extraordinarily bad at. And you got to figure out, like, well, who's going to take on this? I think that's where it's like a compromise, but certain things there will be a submission, in my opinion. I think it depends.
But my thing is, like, what do you think about, what used to be considered tradition where, the man works, he's the breadwinner, and the female basically stays home and handles the household and the kids. Like, you still have some people that, believe in that tradition as well.
I personally feel like that's a whole bunch of bullshit. It's a scam. It's a whole scam because I feel like that is a whole Eurocentric idea. I feel like if you take time to investigate like Eastern cultures and specifically African cultures, many times they had matriarchs. They had women who were leading, women who were warriors, men who were warriors, and it just happened that way organically. The idea of men do this and women do this really didn't come into play until white people started trying to take over.
I agree.
And I feel like today, most people are fighting against that now because women can do it. Women can go out and make money. And men, if they choose and it works for them to stay at home to support their wife and take care of the kids, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with it either.
I don't want to be a wife that stays at home with the kids. Like, I want to have my own thing too, because of course I want to have my own money. And I think it also comes from, I don't want to ever be told, oh, well, I did this, like, I'm the one who has the money. You can't do nothing with my money. Right. Like, I don't want to be told that because I'm not going to say that to someone else. Like, I don't care if, like, I'm the breadwinner and right now you don't have a job and I'm helping us. I'm never going to throw it in your face that I'm helping you when we're doing it together.
Because, I can't stand it. I can't stand a throw in the face ass.
I cannot. Like,
can't stand it.
Like, I've had plenty of relationships where, like, it's been back and forth where, like, either I didn't have a job and they had a job and, like, they just get frustrated. Oh, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm just like, I would never. It's like a slap in the face. It doesn't feel like it's teamwork. It's like you're doing it just to say or throw it back in my face. A lot of times I feel like we picture our relationships also of how we see our parents.
True.
My parents have been divorced since I was 5 years old.
Same.
I've seen other different family members that have been married for a long time. But have I seen a healthy relationship? Yeah, like with friends and family, but I've never seen one directly in my household.
Right. Because
I've known both of my parents have gone through tumultuous relationships, even with together. So it's kind of like I try to learn from the mistakes that they have done so that I don't, like, do a generational curse and produce that in my relationships. But I also feel like that's why I picked some of the men that I picked, because they remind me of my father, and I don't even think about it until it's at the end, and I'm like, why did I see it?
No, for real. People say that, in general, we date our parents. That's pretty much, how those are the people that establish, like, how we trust people, how we love people, how we do this. Because for me personally, I feel, I haven't seen a healthy, quote unquote, productive relationship. Period.
They're all
like,
to some
even
point.
Like the ones around me, most people I've seen have been divorced. Both of my parents have been married multiple times. So I don't necessarily have the best view of relationships and marriage. And I'm learning as I get older, that does affect how I look at relationships. And I feel like relationships don't get as deep to me because that's what I see.
I could understand that. And then I was told by somebody that sometimes we might not be set to be with just one person throughout our lifetime.
Right.
Sometimes we're meant to have, like, I'm not going to say multiple loves, but you're supposed to experience different types of loves. And I think that's what overall helps you decide what you want in your overall love. Because somebody's
exactly. There was actually a study that was done that said that the average person has 3 loves in their life. And the first love is your biggest heartbreak. Your second love generally is the hardest love you'll ever have. And then your third love is generally the one that's supposed to last, according to that study. But, yeah, I agree.
I've been trying to count down my 3.
I don't even know if I made it to my 3 yet. So
I don't even know which one was which. So we're going to here. Now, on that topic of dating, do you guys believe that you can be considered pro-black dating outside of your race?
Okay, well, I will be happy to start here. I feel like to me, I feel like yes, you can, but it's all dependent on like the totality of your dating pool. Because I feel like if you have dated a mixture of races and you just happen to end up, we'll just say, with a white woman or a white man, yes, I think you can still be pro-black. Now, however, if you have only dated white people or have only dated Latinx people, no, I don't think that you could be considered pro-black because you're not open to dating black men and
Within
women.
your own race.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna agree.
I could
with
agree
that.
with that. I like that one.
I feel like, because I've had an interracial relationship, I dated a white man, but I felt like he was eager to learn about Black history or come to an understanding of there may be some trigger moments that I may not be comfortable with and he would not be comfortable seeing me in that position. So I like that point. I feel like if there are boundaries set and there's just a firm understanding, then yes, you can be pro-black. And I do feel like if you are open to dating not just your race, but all races, then yes, you can be like that. But I know that there's men and women that prefer just one race that's outside of their race. And it's not to say that there's something wrong with that. So let me get this clear.
I hate that word.
What?
I hate preference.
Preference.
It's just my preference.
Because
and it's nothing's wrong with having a preference. But please do not talk to me about, oh, I don't date black women because they're loud and angry when you never dated a black woman ever.
Well, my thing
And
with,
we're all not all like that either.
exactly. Black people are not a monolith. You know, you're going to meet trashy, whoever, no matter what race you come in with. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when it comes down to preference, yes, everybody has preferences on what they like. Mm-hmm. Good for you, great. But I really wish people would take the time to like actually think about, okay, why is this my preference? Why am I solely attracted to this? And what have I learned to make me attracted to this? Mm-hmm. Because for me, yeah, I had a preference and I only dated Latinx people, white people, or extremely light-skinned black people. And the reason I did that was because my father was very anti-black. And that is what I learned. And as a young black man, I learned that in order to either be successful or what is considered to move to the next level was to date whatever was in proximity to whiteness.
Oh, wow.
That was a deep one.
That
was a deep one. And a lot of us were raised like that. Because I'm not even going to lie. But my dad has dated a range of all people. Like, my dad has dated plenty of people. And my mom, she's dated primarily, I'm trying to think. Yeah, white and black. So she has a range, but she has a preference as well. I don't have a preference. I feel like I like who I like, and yeah. So it's kind
I didn't experience that with my parents. They were only with each other until my father passed. So.
Oh, your parents had a long marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Like,
I want the type of love they had.
Even when my father was paralyzed, my mother did not put him in a home. She cared for him herself.
See,
until he passed.
Love right there.
Right.
That's a deep love.
That's that real black love. That's the black love that I'm trying to tell my grandkids about.
Exactly. And you know, I just want, under the black love conversation, I just really want this new generation of black children to understand the beauty within blackness and understand that you can find love in blackness. Like, unfortunately, I feel like the media that we have, what we're consuming, it does feed to us that, you know, the only way to get what you want is to find something that is in proximity to whiteness. And unfortunately, I have yet to see the media really push black love like that. Have you guys?
No.
With certain people, like with certain celebrity couples.
I would say celebrity couples or certain networks, like, you know, BET tried, but as much as they try to put those shows on there, for some odd reason they don't last, or I wonder, I don't know if that's the writing, I don't know if that's the network. It makes you question why don't they last, but then you see shows like Blackish, Mixedish, you know, I like those shows and they seem to have spinoffs, Grownish. And I
have a love-hate relationship with those shows. I really do. No, I really do. I appreciate the fact that they're putting, you know, black in front. Perfect. But I feel like those shows are not made for black people. They're made for white people.
Yes.
And that is the primary issue that I have, because with those type of shows, they only show blackness in one light. Like, unfortunately, media only wants black people to look a certain way. You have to be mixed-ish looking, or if you're black, you need to have a loose, curly hair texture, because that's what's quote-unquote acceptable. I have yet to see two dark-skinned people be in a healthy relationship on TV.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Because I'm trying to think, because even with, like, you know, shows like The Game, I know Tammy and Walker have their show coming out in March on WeTV. What it was
I don't know.
What's the marriage boot camp?
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's a perfect.
That's
like,
really
within our generation,
that's really black love.
I feel like they're really black love, because Papoose waited that whole time when Remy was locked up, and she was gone for 8 years.
And it's so sad that they don't really push like stories like that, because really, anytime I see a black couple on TV, it's a dark skinned man with a super light skinned woman who's racially ambiguous.
Most of the time, it is. I will agree with that.
Or like even the like some of the interracial couples are not really that much exposed. Like Robert De Niro had a black wife, and not a lot of people know that.
I did not know that. I did not know that until we had that conversation yesterday.
That plays Ghost. His wife is white. If I'm not mistaken.
And they talk, and I love the way that he stood up for his wife. Like you know, I like interracial couples that work like that. Like you're not going to talk about one or the other. We're going to stand together. We're going to stand as a team. Like, you know what I've always wondered? Because I actually never got to the point to have this conversation when I was in an interracial relationship. But I always wonder, like, what happens when you get to the nigga conversation? Oh, what?
You know, because I don't know. In my mind, I feel like for me to say it. I feel like do they ask? Like, is it okay? Or
it's not okay to say it at all.
No, I'm
not
saying,
saying like, do they ask?
That's what I'm saying. Do they ask? Is it okay to say? Or what happens when you're in an interracial relationship? Let's just say, for instance, with a white person, and you just come home and you like that nigga this, that nigga that, and then they're just looking at you like.
Or you have that song come on that you're both listening to, and they actually may let it slip. Like, what happens there?
Okay, so when I was dating my white guy, Chaz, in Iowa.
Okay, put him out there.
Shout out to my ex, Chaz. No, we still on good terms. Like, we still cool. But it's just that, like, we didn't have that conversation because I didn't say it in front of him. And when I did vent, I did not, because at that time I was a junior in high school. Yeah. I really wasn't saying it like that, unless it was in a song and I was singing it and stuff like that. Yin Yang Twins. But
picture yourself in a relationship now with how old you are now. Like with you're with a white man. And how would you handle that conversation now?
Like talking like how I would. Like,
yes,
like,
now.
Ooh. I mean, like, I to be honest with you, I'll probably be like, nah, because you don't understand. These niggas nod his head and be like, you know what, babe, you got this. Be inspirational, but you better not say that.
Don't let it slip.
Because I'm gonna look at you like,
what you just say?
and I don't like you're not gonna ask me for permission because I feel like you shouldn't need to say that word. It's like how I feel
like
about that word is that it's
out,
our word.
Yeah, it's our
to
word.
them, like
Speaking of, so
because I ain't gonna be like, oh, your family a bunch of crackers. I ain't gonna say that.
Exactly.
Because I don't want you to turn around and be like, oh, well, all you niggas, or all you colors. Like, I wish you would. Like, no, we gonna have a whole battle.
I completely agree with that. So, how do y'all feel about people who are in interracial relationships giving people the pass or the black card to say it?
They don't have
That's
pass.
your choice.
No, it's no.
That is all your choice because if your person get cussed out or get their butt whooped, that is all on you,
bro.
Because I can't hold.
No, I mean, there are plenty of people who give.
Don't give it to them because
give
what if they
out
do
pass.
that in public?
I
And you gotta
feel
answer
That's
that.
the risk that you're taking.
That's your relationship. That's still your relationship.
That's your relationship.
You are taking that. No, don't give it that pass.
I'm gonna give you guys, for instance, so this is why I feel like it's not okay to give, like, if that's what you want to do, that's solely up in your relationship and that's all, like, between you guys. But with my
the world
last
doesn't
ex,
work that way.
not my last ex, but the ex before that, we both were going into a restaurant with my grandmother, who is Caucasian, and she said, oh, is this black people's day out?
Wow.
Now,
Okay,
yeah, shout out, she's very outspoken.
Oh,
But like that's the reason why. Because I mean, she's older, so she probably said it and wasn't thinking, but still. It's just in those moments, I'm not trying to be embarrassed. I'm not trying to be embarrassed because of what you said. I'm not trying to pull people back from whooping your ass because you decided to say a word that you should have not said. I don't care. Dating any person of color does not give you the right to sit there and say any racial slurs.
Right.
I don't care if you sing it in a song. You better sing it in the bathroom where I can't hear it.
Now, I won't say that.
Couples that joke like that will
that they're very
entertain
comfortable
that in their household.
Did y'all know?
that's what they household.
Wait,
They bring it out in
right.
public.
I think it should be discussed.
But did y'all know that some couples they actually do race play?
Oh no!
Oh.
Is that a thing?
That is a thing.
Mm-mm.
I did some
We is not
research.
playing math.
Yes, they come home and right.
Now we can play African Mandingo Warrior, and I'm a African princess, and you about to take.
I'm trying to
take
get.
me.
I'm trying to like
I'm
actually.
telling you, I read it and I saw it and I immediately just shut down because I'm like, I cannot imagine coming home to the sound of a whip.
Just like I couldn't really imagine Paula Deen having a slavery themed wedding, and I was like, I will never eat your pecans and butter.
This is slightly off topic, but on topic. It's about love, but not specifically black love. Okay, y'all, do y'all side out white people who love to go to plantations for like weddings and stuff like that, or have them there?
Ooh, I know I would have never spent my money at the Crescent or anything else. I don't
What is
care.
the Crescent?
It's a plantation.
Oh, okay.
And
I would not.
I have actually turned down I've turned down 3 weddings. I've turned down 3 weddings because they were on a plantation. I'm like, y'all really out here dancing on the bodies of black people.
And trees okay. Yeah, not me. I'm sorry. And then like with the Crescent, it's the little white house on the corner of what is that, Patterson or
Gordon?
They just recently started allowing black people to have so why would I want to spend my money or give you my money and you just recently gonna start? So that's what you want, my money?
Exactly. So pretty much, you guys, it looks like it's almost time for us to wrap up. So, we're gonna spin it over to Cassie real quick.
All right, and here is our black note of the day. All right, we have Marie Van Britton Brown, who actually invented the first home security system. She was a black nurse, a full-time nurse.
A safe queen.
Mm-hmm. She actually devised a system that will alert her of strangers at her door and contact the relevant authorities as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm definitely here for that because we need security.
Definitely.
All the time.
Well, you guys, that is the Black Note of the Day. Go ahead and add that to your study guide. We want to keep you here, so make sure you catch us next time. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel about Black love, your ideas on interracial relationships, and we'll catch you next class.